Hi, I'm Kelly, the Scarf Witch, and this is The Liminal Tapestry, a space where I follow glimmers of remembered threads, weaving through story, symbol, and soul. Threads that rise from the liminal and move through both the mysterious eternal and the practical now. I don't always know where they're leading, but I follow the movement as a quiet invitation to wander and to weave.
We're doing an impromptu thing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Happy Sunday impromptu podcast.
Yeah. You had you'd messaged me. I had a long night and I wasn't sure if I was up for it or not. I was still actually laying in bed, even though I'm 2 hours ahead of you. And what was it? I was like, and I was in the shower and I was like, you know what? And I was back and forth in my head. I was like, if it's a no, just let it be a no, Cal. And I'm like, yeah, but I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to work it into my everyday life, right? And
Right.
I was giving myself all the reasons not to do it. Oh, well, I was trying to catch up on this. I need to do this. Oh, I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. And as I was in the shower, I was thinking about the fact that there's this whole thing in human design, which we wanted to get to, right?
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to talk about anyway. And I was like, I'm a generator, quote unquote, in human design. So there's the right? You're just supposed to answer a yes or no question. And if it's not like basically an enthusiastic yes, it's a no, right? But it's interesting because it's like, is it a no, or is it really my sacral response, or is it that I'm not awake yet and I have all of this, like, I'm overthinking it? Which part of me is it that doesn't want to? You know what I mean? And then when I took a shower and I was like, the eye slime was out of my head. And I was thinking about this. It was like, well, there it is. There it is. And I pictured us having this whole ass conversation. So.
Well, thank you. I'm glad. I mean, I was just like, we had plans to do insane yard work, and then our air conditioner is broken. So, and my husband it's gonna. Oh my god, the amount it's gonna cost to fix our situation is painful. So, so my husband spent like all of last weekend trying to fix our air conditioner situation, and I looked at him and I was like, you really need a rest. So why don't we just everybody rest? Let's cancel. And I was like, Kelly's videos were interesting. She was like, I felt like there was something bubbling under the surface. Some things are coming. There's words that are playing, and I was like, ooh, I want to talk to her.
Oh, yes, I love it. Oh, so what did it inspire? Tell me. Yeah, that was I've been through it.
Yeah, so I want to know because one, I want to talk about, we have had brief discussions about the human design, right?
Okay.
And so human design is totally new for me. For those of you who don't know me, I should reintroduce myself. I'm Jinx. I'm Imperfect Witch on TikTok, and I've been on the podcast a few times. We've talked a couple of things through, and we last left off on talking about consent. Pretty heavy topic, but I have been thinking so much about the question you brought up where you mentioned, like, how much responsibility are we really required to hold for like another adult who is still learning or working through their voice, their autonomy. Because I had brought up, I was like not everyone's on the same level of autonomy, and that really sat with me. I was like, that is an important question to consider, because that is a line that I don't know if I have defined for myself or anybody. And then I was thinking about it. Yeah, I was thinking about it. And then you brought up words like authenticity and honesty and silence. And I was like, woo, I think we should talk about all of that. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Especially in the framework of human design, where we also realized when we were talking about it, I got really excited about being the wrong number or something, right?
Oh, yeah.
I put my birthday in wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
And I was
hold on just a second. The younger one thinks I'm laughing at him. I'm like, I told you I was on a call. I'm not laughing at you. Yeah, no, you put your birthday in like backwards. It must have been like a European site or something, right? So you were all like, we're thinking this whole thing. You thought you were a 3-6 like me, and
yeah.
it's funny because honestly, I was like, oh, I can see that with the Imperfect Witch, but like honestly, it was like to be perfectly honest, my best friend's 5'1", and I was like, you seem more like investigatory, heretic-y, like. So it's funny that it turns out you are a 5'1".
Well, I mean, and that was where we kind of laughed and said the Barnum effect, right? Because,
Right.
when you think about when the 3s and the 5s, how different are they really? Think about the language, because the 3 was the trial and error. That was the stuff that I identified with the most. I was like, oh yeah, I trial and error. Well, if you're an investigative type of personality,
right. You have to. You're digging in, right?
Yeah. But what did stand out to me, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense, was like the imagery where they give you the body map, and I saw the empty spaces on the original incorrect birthday, and I was like, that one didn't match. That didn't match what I felt like in my body. I was like, really, that's open? That seems. I feel like my identity is usually pretty solid. Like I feel like people, because my husband has an open one, and I was like, that's interesting. So then when I realized you gave me the app and I put in the correct birthday, I realized, and you said, I think it's wrong. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was like, well, hold on a second. Because to be fair, I was trying to reverse engineer it because I knew what your life path was. I knew that we shared the same universal year, and you had mentioned what your birthday was. So I was doing the math on like the years, and I was like, I don't think that's right. Oh, and then that was it too, is that your the chart that you had posted, like I all of a sudden then look, I was like, wait a minute, that's Cancer.
Right? You're like, her sign is not
right. I was like, oh, hold on. Yeah, so that was.
I can't read that stuff. Like, what?
I have somewhere too. I have somewhere. It's funny because like it's a wheel, right? It's like the zodiac wheel, and it puts the 64. Did you know this with human design? That it's using the hexagrams in the I Ching? You knew that part.
Yeah, so I watched the basic kind of introduction that it's using like a layered system, right? The I Ching and the zodiac signs and the chakras, but they added 2 more, right?
Yeah, so they added. It's weird.
That was one of the things that interests me. I was like, whoa. Because I'm really into like layering and finding the correspondences too. So I was like, oh, pattern recognition. Let's do it.
I know. It is pretty fun, especially once you start going into the guy who does like the gene keys thing. I mean, I get very nervous or skeptical. I don't know. I take it with a grain of salt. Because like I see all of these things more symbolically. I use them as tools for symbolism. And I still have a very sort of hard line with like when you push it into sciencey stuff. And once you like, yes, I know it's cool. There's something with DNA that has 64 and there's an alignment there that like, cool. But I'm not, like, once we start like overlapping and conflating 2 things, I'm like, I'm not comfy there.
Right. And that's interesting. I feel sort of the same way, except that I love to live kind of in the in-between where I bring in science. And for me, I'm like, I have to be careful. I think it's kind of a perspective in how people are talking about it, where like, and this happened yesterday too, how weird. I saw this woman on TikTok. She was doing a live. She was explaining all these connections through like words, the etymology of words. She was talking about the internet and what does intra mean, and it's like God and all this stuff. And I was like, I sat there and I paused and I was like, okay, but the internet didn't name itself out of nothing. Like, people already knew the Latin words. Like, you guys,
a chicken or the egg, right?
Yeah,
right. It wasn't
exactly.
like some magical meeting. It's like, it is that because of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, the science to a large extent informs a lot of the language that's used in the spiritual realm. So
That's
the
fair.
patterns you're seeing aren't like coincidental. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and I actually even started to say that just to say that. So like for the I Ching in human design, it goes around the wheel and it uses each of the lines, right? So it's like you can look up transits of human design where it's like it's in hexagram 23 line 2. Like, that's like the objects move through it, right? And so there's correspondences. Oh, can I still hear you?
yeah,
Talking.
I think
Okay,
so.
good. There's correspondences with, like, the degrees. You have your moon at 12 degrees Capricorn or whatever, right? Like me.
A little bit, yeah. I'm a little bit getting there.
Okay.
I found out about nodes recently, so.
Right. Okay. Got it. Well, like the zodiac wheel is 360 degrees, and there's 12 signs, so each sign has 30 degrees in it, right? And that's how it's cut up.
Okay.
With the human design in the I Ching, it's cut up 64 hexagrams and then 6 lines in between. Right. So whatever 64 times 6 is, that's how much this circle is cut up, right? Okay. But it has the same, like, if you were to give a coordinate on that circle, like if you were to just say degrees 0 to 360 on a circle, a particular coordinate has a zodiac sign and degree, and it also has an I Ching, like a human design hexagram in line, right?
Okay.
Also, there is, in my travels, there is runic astrology.
Really?
Wow. And I have to dig around for it because it's been a hot minute. So and same thing is that they take the 24 runes and they put it in the zodiac, right? So 24 is a little bit easier than than 64 times 6, right? Like it does it a little bit easier. 24 and 12, it already kind of has an overlap. But all of this to say, I have a spreadsheet. I should share it with you sometime. That I have like all of the degrees, and you can look up. So like if you're looking at transits of like, hey, the sun's in Leo right now, you can look up and say, okay, well, what hexagram is it in, and what rune is it in?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. And then it gives you kind of an idea of like the powers at play there, the layers of meaning there. That's really cool.
Right? And now that I say that and I look at you and I remember what you made on your site for the herb correspondences, and I was like, I could turn this spreadsheet into a correspondence tool and put it on my blog.
You should.
I will.
God, I would use that. I would.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. I love those things. That's where I love to play with the herbs. I spend a lot of time looking into the layered meanings and why, and that's one of the reasons I'm such a history kind of nerd, is like each culture brings that layer. Each period of time brings a layer also, because how the Egyptians informed the next, empire. And we're talking about like huge empires, really. It's really hard to find the information on the smaller, less known societies, what their interpretation of each plant meant. Obviously, but like large empires like the Egyptian Empire, how it informed the Roman Empire, how that informed, going forward. And then over time, how it spreads to us, to like modern witchcraft and how we use it now. I find that fascinating. And that's kind of what I see in terms of the human design. Is here we have, it's what new, it's considered new age, right? New age
Yeah, I think it would
spirituality,
be considered new age. Yeah.
and it's being informed by like many ancient practices that
Mm-hmm.
have these similar um, pathways to interpreting, understanding, I guess, personality, or is that what it's essentially personality,
It's
right?
basically personality, yeah, and you know all of these things, right? Like astrology, anything that has to do with the stars. I think, yes, it's personality in that you can say, okay, you have sort of this fingerprint of this point in time, but it's also there's something fortune and event based about it because it's about cycles and
Mm.
events and like these stars are like change the stars imprint some sort of personality on us because we were sort of born of that moment. But
Mm.
then it also is so I think personality, but also
Like environment, climate, generation.
yeah.
Wow, that's it. Oh, it's so interesting. It's so interesting because okay, I'm making too many connections at once.
Oh
Your poor
yes.
audience. I'm like,
I know, and we have to get back to the autonomy and the trust and the
I
authenticity thing
know
too. We're
that.
pinning it, it's fine.
That's kind of what I was thinking about because again, we're coming back. I was thinking, okay, so uh, when we talk about how much do we have to when we're in relationship, me and
Uh-huh.
you have talked about being in relationship many times. I've said many times on my own videos that relationship has a lot to do with not just intention and not just impact. It's both. It's like um, a back and forth, a push and pull. Because if you focus all on intention, you're disqualifying how someone feels, the
Mm-hmm.
impact you have. If you focus all on impact, then you're, kind of condemning someone when perhaps their intention was not so malicious or whatever.
Right.
Um, so it's definitely a both. But then you brought in a really important question of how much does one person hold another person's mm, lack of ability, or like
Mm.
like takes on and holds their um, not immaturity, or just not their lack of ability to navigate any particular situation in that moment, just that
Mm-hmm.
particular situation. So
Mm-hmm.
how much
Mm-hmm.
should the other person who has more of the emotional intelligence then be required to hold it?
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, and this is coming from the teacher in me, the most part I'm like, yeah, you should. But that's because I worked with kids a lot, right?
Right.
In
Right.
many situations where I was
Mm-hmm.
at work, I was holding it, and that's because I was working with kids. And now I'm working mostly with adults, and I'm like, well, actually, pretty much exclusively with adults. And now I'm like, oh, there is something to that question then that
Mm-hmm.
Kelly phrased. And when we talk about authenticity, honesty, um, and those two words in particular were like, oh, what is the expectation of understanding that as personality traits? Um, yeah, so I've just been sitting with those two words since you brought it up. I don't know. I have no answers at all. I'm just like, wow, what a fascinating thing, because my interpretation of authenticity is probably very different than even your interpretation of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
authenticity
Mm-hmm.
or honesty, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm okay. Which thread am I going to follow here? All right. So, and this is something that has recently been like I've been playing around with these ideas for a while, but like how it's come together in this particular configuration is new. So I
Mhm.
don't have it fully like clarified in my own head yet. But what I real the real thing that I realized was okay, the truth, the universal truth thing, that's old news, right? Like I haven't believed in a universal truth for a long time. Okay, fine. But then still, like, what is truth, right? And I think truth and true is can be a word that describes essence, that can be used, it's a very contextual word. I think that truth in and of itself is a contextual word. Truth as it relates to authenticity, I think for me at this time, authenticity overlaps performance. So, like, I feel like this is going to get very philosophical. I don't know if that's a word. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
I think perhaps authenticity requires an audience in the same way that, like, something about darkness and light, right? Like, you cannot have, like, like, light is meaningless unless there was darkness, right? If there wasn't darkness, you couldn't have something that you called light, right?
Right.
In that same way, or like when some, like, the oxygen gets sucked out of the room, I'm like saying, like, witnessing, like, somebody seeing it happening or something seeing it happening. Witnessing is part of authenticity. Um, so it's just presence.
So
Like,
without the audience, it's just being present.
it's just being present, right?
Okay.
Like what is, like, because what is measure, and I'm not solid on this yet. This is the idea that I'm proposing and playing with at the moment.
Right.
What if, like, what is making the measurement of it being authentic, right? And
Mhm.
I could, it's going to sound like I'm going to contradict myself, right? But I could say that perhaps the witness is my higher self, or the I am field, whatever you want to call it, right? Like, this
Mhm.
version of me that is bigger than this me in this moment is seeing myself. Perhaps it's God seeing me.
Right.
It's easiest when it's another human. You can kind of leverage the, like,
Social
otherness.
interaction. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the social interaction and the otherness of an actual living human body with its own brain, to do the witnessing.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder to be the performer and the witnesser of the performance, and
Yeah.
connect to your divinity in that way, right?
Right.
Yeah, anyway.
And that's interesting. Oh, that's so interesting because I've talked a lot about how in my craft and particularly on my journey, like I felt like my spirit guides were literally demanding I be more authentic. And I use
Mm,
the word authentic in my head at that time when I thought of like being authentic to myself. It meant like stop hiding away things that I thought were socially unacceptable or parts of
mm,
myself that like didn't fit a narrative that I thought people wanted me, the roles that I thought people wanted me to play. So
yeah.
instead, like, allow myself to be more comfortable in my skin, the things I want, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to pushing that down. So that was where I was like moving with authenticity in my journey, is like to allow myself to be who I really am, including the imperfect parts, including the parts that don't um, look good to other people, that don't
Right.
perform well, right?
Yeah.
Um, because I think I think you're right in what is the word, cultural moment. Authenticity right now, when people say it, does sound really performative, like you are performing authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
people will use inauthenticity as an insult,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So then people feel this like social pressure to suddenly be authentic. Which what does that mean then? So that does sound, yeah, that can sound performative, but like what you're saying in terms of like witnessing yourself when there is no social pressure, is that just being present? And for me, when I was doing that in my own craft with no audience, that is
Mm-hmm.
what I felt I was doing, is like being present with all the aspects of myself, sitting with the discomfort of the not like the parts of myself that were not well received, you know?
Mm, mm-hmm. 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 There were two things I was thinking there, and I forget now what they were. um, shoot, hold on. Where was my mind going with that? Oh, well, I contrast it to honesty, right? And honesty to me is just being it's the dissolving of that pressure that you talked about, like with the social pressure.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I still do think there's a difference with presence and just beingness, right? And you seeing yourself in alignment with what you believe yourself to be. You know? like like there has to be, even if it's you looking at you,
Right.
there is a looking that happens with authenticity, right? Like is there a mismatch or not, right? Like
Right.
um right. And so I guess I have a strange relationship with the word performance as well, right?
Mhm.
Because performance, I'm starting to remember what you said that made me think of something. Performance has this connotation that it's fake,
Right.
right? I don't necessarily think of performance in that way,
Right.
because like you could have like a master violinist doing a performance on
Right.
stage because it's like their thing.
Right.
They are
Right.
performing their art.
Right.
um and there's this idea of, I play around a lot with the word of act, right? Like act, action, doing things, like
Right.
actually putting things into form in movement.
Just just verbing.
Just verbing. Yes, exactly that. Verbing. I don't know why it tickled me so much. That was beautiful. Yeah,
I
verbing.
don't want to make you lose your train of thought. You're going
Yeah, no, but it's it. It's like putting into action. That's the perform. Like even like we talk about. I'm just dissecting the word performance here for a moment because I feel like it gets a bad rap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talk about like a performance in sports, right? Like I forget. Like there's some, I don't know. There's some sort of connotation with sports performance that doesn't feel as fake. It doesn't. When you think of performance in sports, you think of somebody like mastering their craft, and
Right.
or you don't think of a craft with sports, but yeah, like
Yeah. No,
it's I'm
there's
showing up.
right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And because I understand, because when we evaluate someone's performance at work, we're evaluating their skill level. It's not a fake, right? And
Right.
but I get what you're saying, because it does have a negative connotation. And I wonder if it's like specifically in our culture right now that it's so
Mm.
heavy. Because I remember at one point in my life, and it was always discussed in sociology and psychology in undergrad, that you just played roles. Like it was part of the understanding of society that everyone had various roles and performed differently depending on the context in which they were working, like what role they were
Right.
taking on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, okay. So there's something about expectation here that maybe creates some of the resistance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, where is the expectation coming from? And if you're performing to someone else's expectation and not your own, is that what we're really talking about when we're talking about inauthentic?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish I remembered what you were talking about before that made me think of something. I'll remember it when I watch this back.
Right. Well, I had mentioned, like, you bring it up again. I had mentioned in my initial, like, starting out, feeling this call from higher power, whatever you want to call it. I call them my spirit
Uh-huh.
guides.
Mm.
But feeling this call, right, to be, quote, more authentic to myself, was forcing me to examine the expectations that were put on
Mm.
me, and
Mm.
whether or not I wanted those expectations, whether or not I wanted to receive them, and if I was um, basically like putting myself in a situation where I was taking on other people's expectations, other people owning other people's needs, right, more
Yeah.
than my own. Um, and we've talked about this too, where like we talked about boxing
Mm-hmm.
ourselves for a little bit, because there was this feeling, you described it as feeling like dissolving when you leave in out of the box. I describe it as a feeling of violation, like boundaries crossing,
Mm.
and that's because I had to work to build to build my
Right.
boundaries, right?
Right.
uh, but when we say authentic to ourselves, and are we talking about and I think
Mm.
sometimes in society, the expectation is if you are authentic, you are going to be consistent, as in non changing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because we also see that in society, if anyone, a large creator or large influencer or whatever, changes their belief system suddenly,
What? What are you talking about?
then then they were inauthentic the whole time. They were
Right.
never.
Right.
They were all performative. They were. Really? Is that true? I mean, because is consistency the same thing as being authentic? No, I don't know.
Well, in fact, I would on that thread. I would absolutely say, in fact, explicitly no.
Right.
like, like we all say, like the only thing constant is change, right? So,
Hmm.
like, if we're in a world of cycles and things are changing and ever changing,
Hmm.
and maybe that's what when people talk about ego death, and like, I've always been on the camp of like, ego death is sort of like a thing, but not like a final destination. Like, because you can't really kill the ego. We are still individual, separate
Right.
consciousness, right? But like, I wonder if that's it. It's this over identification of like it's identifying and having something consistent as an identifying factor, and it's like what I think that's why I resonate with honesty more, because honesty sort of requires you to keep looking in my mind and how I'm metabolizing these words.
Right.
Honesty requires you to keep looking. It's just like what is true right now, and honesty to me is more open than the word. Like true feels so like narrowing.
Hmm.
It's like you have to sort of have a certain level of certainty for true.
Or
In my
demands like evidence.
oh well, that too, right?
And
Right.
like some
I
of these things are like intangible. There is no evidence, right? This is the paradox of like some things that we live in, like some concepts that we hold are not physically like tangible. There's no
right.
evidence, there's no hard evidence.
Yeah, that I like in magical spaces. I like the term unverified personal gnosis. Right? I'm sure. Have you?
I've
You
never
probably
heard
heard that.
that.
You've
I
never heard that?
no, but I love it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, there's a couple of different things around gnosis, and there's one that's like a shared. There's like shared gnosis where it's like okay, you can say that like it's not objective in the pure scientific sense, in that like you could have like peer reviewed studies on it, but
Right.
you do have like multiple people saying, yes, I have had this experience. This is true for me. And it's the same truth that people share, right?
Okay.
But it's still not, and you can agree upon it. Oh, that reminds me. There was something recently. Oh, I wrote it down somewhere. I was watching something. Donald Hoffman was on a panel. I don't know if you've seen any Donald Hoffman stuff. He's like kind of scientist, kind of like on the fringe. He talks about some wild stuff.
All right. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah. He gets into like he's very similar to me, like in the not similar to he's much smarter than me. Let me not conflate, but like in the perspective, he has so much more knowledge. I have some crazy ideas, but he has more knowledge. Anyway, done with the comparison, but he has that idea of like, you know, like consciousness is emergent. Like, I don't know if he says that specifically, but I'm not describing it right. Like, basically, like, he uses the analogy of Grand Theft Auto and how, like, if you're in, like, he calls it the VR headset, and you're, like, we're just, like, it's rendering as we're going. Like, that there's no objective reality. Basically, that's it. That's what we share a belief in, is that there's no objective reality. Okay. It's all just here. Right. Consciousness is creating reality.
Okay.
Basically.
I think, therefore, I am in a bigger sense.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Kind of. Yeah. In a bigger sense. Yeah. Okay. I digress. I was watching him on a panel. He was on a panel with a guy that did a lot of DMT because he's like interested in that. He's interested in this idea of, this is why it reminded me, right? Two things. I'll finish the thought, I promise. He's interested in this idea that like a lot of people who do DMT end up seemingly going to the same realm, quote unquote, seeing the same.
I think I know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. I think I've seen some videos on that. It was like some kind of gnome. I don't know. Go ahead.
Like electric elves or something like that. I don't know right, but there's some elves. So he's very interested in this, in that like you have people like, not like UFO sightings where like you see it on the news and then you describe UFOs as flying saucers, but like you have people having like very similar experiences, or even you could say it with NDEs now too. Like, oh, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. Like these stories come up, but there's a certain level of, hold on, you have these individual accounts saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. There's some that's worth investigating.
Absolutely.
You know?
So that's a very like personal examination, and like probably more scientific than what I spend a lot of time doing. I talk about a lot of when I talk about history and talk about the connections across some of the spiritual identification and how plants were used, etc., in different societies, I'm talking about these parallel developments that happen when societies haven't actually interacted, right? So the parallel, that's what I find fascinating, right? Because then to me, I'm like, whoa, how interesting that no matter what, the time period, the culture, the language, this particular idea still sprouted independently.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's kind of what you're talking about, right? Like, parallel,
similar
epiphanies, and experiences.
Not just epiphanies, but actually like take it another level further, is that like they'll go into a meditation. You know, people can go into meditations all the time, and I mean, this is a psycho-induced or whatever you call it. Like, this is like an actual thing. But they'll go somewhere and it'll seem like they go to the same place. It's like a same, like, not physical, we're not, you know, and he's posing the questions of like, what if whatever that is a way into potentially expanding our ability to on how we perceive, like if there are additional dimensions of all that is, does it allow you to see into like the fourth and fifth dimension? Not as I'm very careful with my words here. I don't mean a fourth and fifth dimension as though another realm that you go into, but like an actual like spatial dimension.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
A little bit. I think I mean, like, you're not like you're in a different, completely parallel universe or world per se,
Right.
but rather a different perception. Like, you can now, that's not known to us in the 3D. Like another sense is
Yeah.
open to
Yeah.
perceiving the world around you in a different, yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can actually like there's more complex geometries. There's another layer of geometry that like you can see through. Have you
Okay.
ever heard of and I won't go too much into this, but have you ever heard of flatlanders? The whole flatlanders thing?
No, I don't think so.
It's the thought experiment of trying to conceptualize 4 and 5 dimensions, and you sort of picture I think Carl Sagan I think is the original person who came up with it, and um or at least the first one that I saw talking about this. And so you can find videos of him talking about flatlanders. People have made like sort of mini movies about it, but it's the idea of like you talk through like a picture a world of entities that are living in 2 dimensions, and then
Okay.
how we as 3 dimensional beings could perceive their 2 dimensional world, and
Uh-huh.
if we interact it with them, like the idea of like if we put a ball into their dimension, to them it would be this like circle that just kept getting bigger and then getting smaller again, but to us it's just a sphere that's going through one of their planes.
Oh, okay. Right. So if we're trying to conceive something in a different dimension, then it's going to be very like weird geometrically. It's going to be like we're going to perceive it
Yeah, we're
weird
gonna
way.
perceive it weird,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
because
we
we're stuck in the three anyway. I digress. These are the things that keep me up at night. Where was I? Okay, right. So the consistency. Because I wrote some notes because when you were talking, I wanted to get back to it. Yeah, why are you tying me down to like one thing? Why are you saying like why are you not you, but somebody who's like, "Oh, well you changed your were you inauthentic?" But no, that was authentic for the you in that now.
right.
Also, it's hilarious to me how why does it seem like we, and I've heard people say this before, why is authenticity like assumed to be a good thing? Like
Right. Cuz you can be a shitty person and still be authentic.
right, exactly. Exactly.
Still authentic.
Exactly. Do we really want authenticity? Is that what we really want people to be?
Absolutely be an authentic asshole.
Right, right. So I can stay the fuck away from you. You're like, actually, yes.
That's so, I mean, that is something that I think when we're, these words, there's so much cultural context. Again, the performativeness of it, the
Mm-hmm.
it's so important that we understand when I think when we're performing versus when we're, like you said, being present, right? Being present with our honest self or authentic self. And gosh, it's really hard for me to let go of authenticity again, because to like I you said, authenticity does allow for that, like the shittiness, the shittier
Mm-hmm.
side. Like, you can hold that in your authentic self. It's allowed in. Um
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess honesty also allows that in. I always think, because honesty is always considered like a virtue that also has like very virtue signaling weight to
Oh,
it, right?
okay.
Honest
Yeah.
virtue, being honest. And I'm like,
Oh, I want to know more about that because to me, honest has a very humbling, like you must be so humble to be honest. So what's the I'm missing something on the spectrum of honesty.
oh, okay. Well, I guess maybe it might be a cultural thing. So, I, I always um, I got a lot of shit from my girlfriends when we were younger because, um, I wouldn't always tell them everything that the other person said about each other, right? Or I would just kind of some things I would leave out, like maybe don't bring that in. And so their critique of me was that was dishonesty, and I was like, oh. So I kind of internalized, like, one, that honesty is some kind of thing that you have to live up to, from the social pressure that I was receiving about being honest. And two, that being honest was like being complete, like all things are
Transparent.
on the table. Yeah. And I always thought, okay, so that's like a virtue if you are willing to put all the cards on the table, and you are always being honest. You're like an honest person, and if you're not, then you're somehow below this virtue.
I see. And I understand now why it's different for me, because I can't not do boundaries. We've talked about this before, right? Like, boundaries are a hard line for me. And I think formulaically, right? Honesty without boundaries is transparency,
Oh, okay.
I think,
That would make sense. Okay.
right? Because you can be like, right, like, if you're, I'm picturing an extreme example, like if you're sitting with your enemy, and you want to create connection, right? There has to be an opening. So the opening is in honesty, but do you really want to tell your enemy the passwords to your secret vault?
Right.
Probably not. But that's not dishonest, that's protective. That's a boundary. Like, not everybody is like, you don't owe everybody everything. Like, nobody is owed my transparency.
Right. Right. Yeah. And so like putting those boundaries, that's what I had to build eventually, was like, but that I think that's where I have not just deconstructed this value notion. So when you're like, I don't see honesty as like this high value that you have to rise up to. It's just like being,
I see.
I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes more sense. So honesty is what I would like, in a lot of ways, is what I think of as authenticity. It's the,
I see.
yeah.
I see. I see. And honesty to me too isn't even necessarily something that's a trait of a person. It's um an energetic field.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Like, I'm trying to come up with another word to use as a placeholder for now, like, to see if it flips anything. But like, the first thing, and I know this is, I mean, maybe moving into AAVE, but like, the be so for real. That's what I think of when I'm thinking honesty. I'm thinking like along those lines of like, can you just be so for real right now?
So there's an acknowledgement of the whole context, not just the person speaking or the
Yeah.
person performing. It's an acknowledgement. So you could be honest even alone, technically.
Oh,
Right?
100%. That's most of the
Okay.
times how I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I'm not even necessarily thinking about group honesty. Frickin' Libra. Personal resources over here. I'm not thinking about others. You have to remind me to do that. Life Path 6, Libra.
I'm like,
Taurus, Life
how
Path
do
1 over here.
others know?
Right. Like, what others?
Matter.
Right, yeah. So like like when and here it is, right? Like, when I find that I'm fighting with reality, you know, I when I get down to, okay, hold on. It's sort of like one of those surrendery things where I list out all of the truths. Like what is true for me right now? And I just list them all out and I list, and that's where I find where I'm putting some sort of false dichotomy or false choice or something, because I'm
Okay.
like, it's like before I do that, before I allow myself to list all of the truths, just like, you know what, this is what it is, all of it, and able to look at it all. I often won't allow myself to, because I'm like, well, I can't think that because of this, right? It's like, and the example I always go down to, right, is like the one where it's like, I, you know, um, I can't think of a good like concrete example right now, so just go to the one that I always go to with the whole like, I want to go to the movies tonight, right? But like, this is such a stupid example. I'll get there. I want to go to the movies tonight, but like, if I go to the movies tonight, I'm disappointing my husband because he wants to do something else tonight. Like, he wants to um, go to hibachi tonight. Right? Like, so it's like this thing of like, I'm stuck in the, well, what do I do? Do I allow myself to go to the movies or do I go to hibachi? And it's like, okay, the stepping back there is I, what is true for me right now? I really want to go to the movies. What's also true for me right now? I really don't want to disappoint my husband.
Mm-hmm.
What's also true? Like, like, and I just list out, like, what's true? And it's like, all right, the fact of the matter is that, like, the fact of the matter, right? I, um, this isn't a real example, so I'm like making shit up on the fly right now. Um, maybe, uh, this is a movie that I've been really wanting to see. Or like, I don't know, I can't think of the examples right now, but it's like at a certain point you start pulling in all of the, at the end of the day, like, oh, here's the truth of it. And it's like, you know what? This is what I can live with, or here's how I can have both, or like at some point it dissolves, and even if, and it, at a certain point, it doesn't matter if we're going to the movies or we're going to hibachi.
Mm-hmm.
It's the idea that I had to choose between those two. It's the idea that, like, oh, I was fighting this thing. I was telling myself I couldn't have XYZ because of this stupid thing over here. When I
Right.
wasn't just acknowledging that as part of it. Or this whole, like, this fear I have of accidentally exploitating people.
Yeah.
I said that weird. But, like, I'm like, no, that's part of who I am. I don't want to take advantage of people. So,
Right.
like, that is one of my truths.
Right.
So, like, I can't, if I keep that active in my sight, I can allow that to inform my movement forward rather than thinking, oh, well, no, like, rather than letting it close doors for what I want to do.
Right.
I'm so used to having it close a door for me and say, oh, well, this is the thing you're not allowed to do because of XYZ, rather than, I want this. This is a thing that exists in the field. How can these things exist together?
Right. Where we put ourselves in these dichotomies a lot, right? Where one or the other has to be true. Like
Right.
you have to be consistent to be authentic.
Yes.
That's a dichotomy that doesn't actually exist. We are making it for whatever reason. So what's the truth that led to that conclusion that we can unpack is kind of like what you're listing
Yeah.
process. Okay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I find even just like throwing it out on the table, I'll have to do it on paper next time I do it so I have a better example, because it gets much more spiritual than like picking between a movie and a and a restaurant. But it's not even necessarily like doing this over analyzing thing. It's literally just listing, allowing yourself to list all of the things out before resolving how they're contradictory.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Which our brain doesn't want to do usually. We
Right.
want to resolve
Right.
the conflict. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mine certainly doesn't. Yeah, it says like, oh, you can't put this on the table because you've already. It's like you're playing Uno, and it's like, oh, well, there's a blue card down. You have to put a blue card down or a two. Like it's like, no, let's just put all the cards on the table right now and see what we have.
Because we're not actually playing Uno.
Right, right. Like who said we have to play Uno right now? Who told
Right.
you have to play Uno right now? Like,
Right.
Kelly.
And I'm over here playing Go Fish. I don't know.
Exactly. Like, and maybe after all that, you put all the cards on the table and you realize, oh, I do enjoy playing Uno and I do want to play that, but now I know what I'm working with.
Right. That's that's really interesting. And then so that's your kind of concept of being honest, is really looking at what you got. What do you got here? What is
Yeah.
and isn't there? And we pull in so often when we have these internal contradictions, or we have the blue and the yellow at the same time, and we're like, no, no, no. But what about red? And red isn't even at in the hand, right? We pull
Right.
in. That's really interesting. It makes me think about something my husband mentioned to me this morning. He was talking about his servitors. I asked him. He was doing some ritual yesterday while I was finishing up some oils and stuff. And so I saw him run outside with my cauldron and some paper on fire and stuff. Like, what is he doing? Which it's really fun. It's really fun to see him like developing his whole thing.
I love that.
Anything about it really, because it's completely different than mine, right?
That's fantastic. Aw.
So he comes, this morning I was like, so what were you doing? And he's like, well, I needed to do a ritual to empower my servitors. It's been a minute. I have a lot of them. They need to be empowered. And I was like, oh, so they got to be charged and stuff like cell phone? He's like, well, technically, they're not supposed to last this long. Apparently, according to what I've read, they're supposed to be short, and then they kind of just go out, like they're like done.
Their flame goes out.
Yeah. And he was like,
Yeah.
but I will not stand for that. He's like, I've already invested a lot into them. I know the personalities that I've developed with them, and I'm trying to build better relationships with things and take care of them and not just throw it away and be wasteful.
Oh no, he's trying to create consistency.
I adored it. I adore it so much. He's so cute sometimes. So he's telling me about it, and I was like, "Oh, okay. So you did your own thing." He's like, "So I charged them. They can start." Who says? Who says? Like,
Right?
who's in
Exactly.
charge of deciding if servitors can be? It's magic.
Oh, I love a chaos magician. Exactly. What game are we playing? And who is them?
I was like, you know what? You're right. For all the people who claim authority on this shit, like, what the fuck do we know? And who knows what? You are absolutely right. It is,
Yeah.
It's the very personal experience, but also like the shared outcome, right? Who, like, going back to the DMT thing, like, who knows why the people took the DMT to begin with?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily matter the journey of how they got there, but they had this shared experience. Does that make the shared experience any less, fundamental or profound just because they walked different paths to get there?
Right. And or even any less real, like, yeah, it's an interesting, I could go on a whole thing, but like, it's interesting even the way that, in hard times, why it's so important to protect art, because like even popular movies, they change the way people think and feel. Like, it is impactful. Tell me that's not real when it actually makes it inspires change. Tell me that's not real. I mean, it's maybe not as real as my keyboard, but it's just real in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about something too I wanted to go back to about, like, when you're putting all the cards on the table, and because you were talking about like, yellow and green or whatever, and so, well, what about red? And red's not even on the table. And at a certain point there too, I was thinking about, you know, this is a thing I have to do too often when I'm thinking, oh, like all the whataboutisms, and it's like what about, and then all of a sudden you get to a point where, oh, hold on, I have now everything in the field, like I can't, this is too much. I actually am at my capacity to hold all of this. So then also part of the honesty is saying, okay, and I have this much capacity. I know I'm going to leave some stuff out, and this is where I'm drawing the line. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be like an infinite expansion. To have it be a like just pure, in every moment, honest with where you're at, and willingness to see all of it, to not shut it off because I can't, like, I don't know what the word is, but it's like a very conscious closing, like
Right.
not a fear-based sort of like pushing away, but a clarified, intentional space.
Boundary, right? Like parameters.
Yeah, boundary. Yeah, parameters. Yeah.
That's
Instead of
really
saying
interesting
boundary
that
again.
that I mean, I agree. Like, so I had talked a little bit about this. I don't want to go too far into the weeds with it, but what I had shared online was that, like, I was trying to talk about how, like, not everything is a spiritual awakening. And in that sense is what I was trying to do. Like, I was trying to figure out my field in that moment, in that state of being, and where I was. And it's like, okay, I'm feeling these ways, these certain ways, and I'm holding doubt. So I need to just be honest with that. And in that doubt, that means some of the things that I do in my practice and what I believe normally have to pause. They just have to, right? Because at this point, I can't hold the contradiction of both. I can't navigate both. I just have to hold this thing. And like, what does that feel like from the perspective of like coming from atheism? It feels very familiar of like nothing exists.
Right.
I don't want to hold that, right? And that was the first time that I had ever really like felt that deep doubt, that deep of a doubt in my practice. So that was one of the, like, that was a pretty profound moment for me in like navigating that and then coming back to having like still feeling spiritual again. Yeah.
Because what was the doubt? A very much a, oh, what if this is all fake, or what if this is okay? It was really, really doubt.
Yeah.
It wasn't just skepticism. Oh, well, what if this is it? Okay.
Yeah. For me, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, what? Well,
Yeah.
like it was like, what if I can't feel my mom? What if I don't have spirit guides? What if I don't know how to reconnect? What if I've gotten to this point so far? Everything I've felt was real and I believed in and I truly felt and it existed. What if now I'm here and it's not real anymore? You know? And how do I hold that? What does that mean? And then, working through that in a very similar, I feel like it's very similar to what you were describing, where I was like, what is true for me now? Okay, I am feeling this heavy, but I'm in conflict with myself about it. So if it wasn't a conflict, if there wasn't a friction, then that would be my norm. But that's not the case. So this is probably a phase. Like, I don't know. I was talking myself through it. Maybe
what
just
was the answer when you said, what if this is all like I can't feel my mom, blah blah blah? Was there an answer to that, or did you walk yourself back to, oh no, it is true?
There was no answer. Like, it just was, I had to sit in this discomfort of like, I don't feel connected to my magic. I don't feel connected spiritually. I don't feel spiritual. And that's uncomfortable given how much comfort and true like love that I have for this path now. So it was uncomfortable, to see your altar when you're like, what if I don't feel what if I never feel connected to it again? So I was just sitting with that, and I was like, that was one of the reasons I pulled out my tattoo stuff. I couldn't fidget around with everything in my office is like creatively kind of related now. Other than like my tattooing is separate. So I was like,
Okay.
I want to do that. It's separate, and I want to like practice that. But even the imagery, you know what I mean? It was very witchy. That I just happened to have it. I didn't want to pull out and do a new design, whatever. So
Yeah.
that was my like pulling through and just like, what if I am disconnected? What's the truth here? Is this a forever thing? Like, am I going to start packing up my altar? No, I feel like I'm in conflict. I feel like that's not totally true, because if it was totally true, I wouldn't feel an internal friction. So that's where I could just sit and be like, well, then this has to be something that passes. Eventually, it has to be. If I have this internal friction, it has to pass. At least that's the way I see it, because if you are, I guess, authentic or feeling aligned, you're not in that state of friction with yourself. And so you can just be, right? You can just exist. And when I feel connected to my magic, that's what I feel most of the time.
Were you able to get to a point at all, like outside of like understanding that part of life is cycles and that you'll go through moments like this? Was that where it sort of stopped, or did you also sort of say, oh, this is part of me too?
I think I'm still going through that.
You're still going through that, yeah.
This is part of me too. Definitely got to a point where I was like, this is a cycle. This is going to be a norm. This is probably going to be a norm for me, especially given that I have like a tendency to be skeptical, right?
Yeah,
to be investigative, to wonder, every question, even myself, and to seek autonomy, even from myself. But then there's also this space where I can't really explain it other than the energy comes back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to explain it. The feeling of being connected again returns in some way, shape, or form. So it could be the slightest little synchronicity. It can be the way the sun shines on you. It could be the fact that, I remember now. I was woken up by the buck moon at 3:33 in the morning, and went outside and like felt it, and I was like,
"Oh, it's back! I can get it back again." Right? Yeah. Ooh, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and it feels like as you were describing it, I was picturing like clouds like moving. The sun coming up. It was like, oh. You know what it's like too? Like when you have like a bad toothache or you're stuffed up, and you feel like, oh my God, I didn't like, if you're stuffed up, you're like, I didn't appreciate it when I could breathe. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to breathe again.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah. Like, I didn't appreciate it when I could breathe. I don't think I'm going to be stuck like this forever. I'm going to be living my life like this. The end of the world. Right? And all of a sudden you get that one nostril that opens up for a minute. You're like, oh, normal again.
Spiritual sinus infection.
Yes. You need a bath for that. It's gonna have menthol in it.
Yes, oh my gosh, that describes Very
Right?
good analogy.
Yeah. Okay, now I understand. I understand that.
Mhm.
Putting it in the physical always makes it more clear for me. You said something before too about not only the doubt, but also remember before you were talking about like you could be a shitty person and be authentic.
Mhm.
That's what I was talking about with the worst versions of me, right? In
Mhm.
that video about like I think of all of the like when I go into these things and I think of all of the truths and think, well, what person do I want to be? Because for me, I'm connected to this whole like I am field of me, right?
Mhm.
And I sort of have like, all of it. Like if I were in your position right now to do the overlap of analogy, the part of me that is in doubt is an authentic version of me in the I am field. Like even so much so that I'll picture a version of me like in that scenario, right? I would picture a version of me who doesn't do witchcraft and doesn't believe and is fully atheist and like and I'll picture that version of me living a life. And I'll picture that version of me in moments where she wishes she had some sort of thing. And I picture versions of me that is in witchcraft and wishes I don't know. Like they talk back and forth to each other about their strengths and weaknesses, what they have and what they don't have. And I realize that, you know, all of both of those are versions of me that exist in time, space, and possibility, as they say.
Mhm.
Um, so then I can once I realize they both exist, I can then come back to me and say, okay, and which one do I honestly want to be with? Which one do I want to ride with?
Right.
Because I'm not making a decision on which one gets put into form. Some part of me believes that some version of me is putting it into form. So it's like literally whatever it is that's my consciousness right now.
Mhm.
What one do I want to be with? This is the one that I honestly right now want to be with. Um and that's a scary thought because it immediately goes to things like okay, like there's versions of me potentially that are like doing atrocities, right? Like there's versions of me that's a really big asshole that
Mhm.
maybe is a very creating a lot of pain and havoc in people's lives. So what's stopping me from embodying one of those people? I was like, well, the fact that I'm having this thought right now saying, oh, I hope I'm not one of those people, I'm not going to be.
Right.
That's not aligned with me.
The fear, right? That conflict. That's yes,
Oh,
yes. The conflict, the friction within the self of like, okay, yeah. So I have this fear that I'm going to be an atheist and I don't believe anymore. But what? Okay, if that's what I'm afraid of,
uh-huh.
then it's probably not gonna. Right? I'm not going to embody that forever. I can hold that and like, because the friction's there, right? If the
Right.
friction wasn't there, if it was just like no, like, because when you are honest with yourself, ooh, is this where we get to the authenticity? Is this the
Yeah.
honesty?
Yeah.
When you get to that point, you are
Mm-hmm.
and you are aligned, like you are. So that's
Mm-hmm.
when it's okay. That's where you can embody it. Um, but if you're in the friction, and I think this is where like I'm also was really uncomfortable because this was the first time in a long time I had had so much internal friction, like to that point. I had been very fortunate in that the tower moments that I was going through most of the journey were about learning how to be authentic in the with the external, like being in relationship with
Mm-hmm.
everything
Mm-hmm.
else, right?
Yeah.
Kind of relearning how to be a person in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But in relationship with others, and here this particular moment was not about being in relationship with others. It was about being
Mm-hmm.
in relationship with myself again
Yes.
after I had done all this what I thought was self discovery through this relationship, and with external, and now all of a sudden I'm just left with just me, no one else, no external.
Right.
And that, yeah, I mean, you had mentioned to me that I was like putting something out that was pretty raw, and it was. Um, and I think that instinct to put it out as opposed to keep it in
Mm-hmm.
was very much an instinct of seeking relationship in a
Mm.
moment of feeling not sure how to navigate this, just the I am.
Right.
And I was
Right.
like, but I do know how to navigate. I think I know how to navigate this when it wasn't that. So I put
Um.
out the wrong energy, right?
Mm.
Because it wasn't in alignment.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
When I was
Okay,
supposed
hold on.
to
I'm used to dealing with the external. Like, I'm used to getting information out here.
Mhm.
I'm going through something right now, and so I'm going to communicate out here when you were in a very sensitive place. And so I was thinking of it from a different perspective. So say it again. You were like, you were putting the wrong energy out there, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so because I don't want to say that, like, okay, when I'm talking about being in relationship and relearning myself. So
Mm
I started this kind of witchy journey like about 6 years ago,
hmm. Mm.
and through that, oh, I'm about to die. Hold on, let me see if,
Oh.
and not me, my my computer, I should say.
No, I knew. I knew what you meant.
Like, no, that's not what I mean.
You got to charge up the servitor.
Yeah.
That's why you need to rename Siri.
I start this journey, and in that journey, I am learning myself. I am learning to be present with myself. I am learning honesty about myself, authenticity. But
Mm
it's it's through magic, but by circumstance, right? So the
hmm. Mm
external world is informing my journey a lot because I'm surrounded by grief. I'm surrounded by um, outside stressors that I'm
hmm.
navigating and relearning and retraining and becoming a new version of myself that can hold many truths or many ideas through these situations. Okay.
Mm hmm.
Then, and I'm discovering a lot about myself through that journey and through relationship.
Yeah.
And then I have this moment now, later in my journey, I have this moment where the energy or whatever's happening, whatever reason this is coming forward, whether it was the re-emergence of grief, maybe that was informing part of it, or for whatever reason, I'm holding a huge orb of doubt in myself.
Mm.
And
Mm.
this orb of doubt is not just about self doubt, it's not just about spiritual doubt. It's like doubt of everything. I am doubting
Mm.
myself, I'm doubting
I
my
see.
relationships, I'm doubting this, just holding energy of doubt. And it should have been like, that was kind of like a moment of, here's an opportunity, Jinx, here's your opportunity to sit in presence, right? And honesty with yourself quietly.
What?
And kind of, pull it apart, roll with it, play with it,
Mm-hmm.
feel that discomfort. And
Mm-hmm.
one, maybe had I, not been on TikTok so much already, I might have been more inclined to do that. But since I'm always on TikTok now, instead I had this out. I went, this is uncomfortable. Boop,
Right.
record.
Right.
This is
Mm.
uncomfortable. I want to soundboard it. I want to soundboard it. Someone,
Mm.
someone else help me. Let's figure this out together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But without
Yeah.
actually, that's not ever what was supposed to happen, right? Like with no, that was not a soundboard moment. Two,
Mm-hmm.
um, how can you receive anything? You know what I mean? Like, you're in a
Yeah,
moment
you can't.
you can't receive.
Mm-mm.
So that's where that energy is totally misaligned. You're going social for something that's solo.
Well, also too, and maybe whether or not it's solo or not, right? Like, I could definitely, in your case, for sure. When you were describing that, it made me realize when you were like, you said you're in something of doubt, right? You're in a
Mhm.
field of doubt. So, like, I see it as the veils and the scarves, right?
Mhm.
It's almost like you're in this field and there is this veil of doubt over the field. So, in your personal field. So, then that is the filter that everything is going to come to you through, and everything that you push out is going to come. So, there is going to be, when you're communicating then with others, there's going to be a heavy filter
Mhm.
that everything is getting pushed out, right?
Right.
Which is an interesting thing because it's like, because I'm sort of like, I need to, right? It's this boundary thing again, right? Like, I'm working towards like allowing myself to do that more, right? So it's a different exercise that I'm working through, is like at least understanding what field I'm in,
Mhm.
and then allowing myself to interact with the understanding that that's the field that I'm in.
Right.
I am telling myself I don't go through that, but I think I go through it in a slightly different way. Like, that's that whole like I will, you know how you said, "Hey, I'm going through something, I need people to think, basically I need to ping. I need other people's information, right?" I think I end up saying, you know, you need to do it this way, you need to be here, you need to be here, like, don't do this. Like, I start like really over controlling my environment to the point where then, like, I have now boxed myself in. That's that whole boxing in thing again, right? Like, I've now boxed myself into this tiny little thing that I have no room to explore what it is that I was trying to explore,
Right.
right? Because I've just now made my environment so freaking safe.
And they're the same thing in a different form, right?
Yeah.
Where instead of how do I put it? Instead of putting like this everything in its place, I'm sitting here going, okay, everyone give me your little ideas. I want to put them all together so I can sort them. Give me your puzzle pieces. Quick, 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 quick. I'm very confused.
Yes. Yes. That's it, because that's exactly it. Because I'm like, get away, get away, get away. I need a clear space. I need a clear space. And then I have the clear space, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have anything to work with now.
I'm like, give
I'm
me all the
empty.
chaos. Oh no, I have to fruit.
Oh my god. This should be able to work together. We should be able to leverage this.
You got a tabletop. I have lots of puzzle pieces everywhere.
I'm like, oh, you know what? Here, just give me some of your puzzle pieces, because I'm empty. Right?
Don't worry, I'll get more. I'm like a little
Right?
puzzle pieces. Ooh, what do you think about that? I found this. Take a look at this.
Oh, that's funny. Oh yeah, I know that puzzle piece, but that to explain that puzzle piece, I have to explain. Have you heard of Flatland? You're like, what?
I will take them all. I'm gonna put it in that pile there, and that pile there. I know they all fit somehow. Someday, when I have the tables room, I will put it together.
multi-tiered table. These drawers that you just pull out. Oh, here's this one.
It's extravagant.
Yeah. Maybe that's why we work well together. Because I'm just obsessed with building the right tray. Like I have a masterful tray with all these drawers and trays and shelves and baskets, but nothing's fucking in them. Wonderful structure. It's empty. So we like each other.
Accurate.
Yeah. That sums us up. Because you're like, ooh, I like that drawer. I have things to put in that drawer. And I'm like, oh, thank fucking God, because I have nothing in it.
A whole pile of things.
Yeah.
These ones are all blue.
I'm like, I have a blue drawer. Lucky for you. Is it round? No, it's square. I have a drawer for that too.
That's fantastic. Oh my God. I love that.
That's good. I like that.
That's really good. Oh,
That's so healing.
it was healing. I'm gonna say thank you again for doing an impromptu with me. I know you got to get to your kiddo. I got to get to my kiddo too. So thank you so much. This was very healing. I have no idea if we came to any conclusions other than I have puzzle pieces. You have a beautiful structure.
It's wonderful. You know what? If we came to a conclusion, I'd be upset. That's not my devotion. That's not the brand. The brand is the liminal tapestry, and we wove like a bunch of witches. Right. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks for listening. I hope you meet me here again, between the mysterious eternal and the practical now. Until then, may the threads tug gently and your weaving be effortless.